What is going on, everybody? It is Fitz and the Skyline back here with another video. Now today we need to measure to figure out what size adapters I need to order for my tri-spokes to go on the Skyline. Without further ado, boys, let's get this thing in the air and get to measuring. Alright, so we are going to be starting the measurements in the rear, but I want to show you guys this really quick. Look at this, dude. These are the tires that I did the garage burnout, and then I've also gone out sliding on these tires for 4 or 5 times. So shout out whatever the hell these are. We're going to keep them moving. Let's get back to the video. So the reason I have to run adapters is because these wheels are 4 lug and my car is 5 lug. Another reason I have to measure for these adapters is because since these wheels are very, very low disc, meaning that the back of the face is very, very close to where you actually mount the wheel, there's not a whole lot of room in here for a big caliper. In the rear here, we should not have a whole lot of issues with our adapter not fitting. Let me show you guys this real quick. If we place the tape measure next to the lug stud, you see it has plenty of clearance in front of the caliper. Now this is only 1 inch of stud, which means we'd have to get a 1 inch or 25mm spacer to clear this caliper. That's very doable, very easy, and also a cheaper option. Now the next thing we have to measure is if the spacer is going to come out to the even of the end of this lug, how much farther from the mounting point, back of the face, where it meets the spacer right there, how much farther out is that going to be? Now what I'm going to do right here is measure from that mounting point outward. This is the face side. If we put the tape measure in through the lug nut hole, we have about 3.5 to 4 inches of poke from that mounting point. What that would translate to on the car is 3.5 to 4 inches outward from this stud, and as you guys can see, we're gonna have just a little bit of poke, which is what we're going for with the little wheels. So guys, the conclusion for the rear is gonna be a just straight 25mm 5x114.3 to 4x100 adapter. Let's put this wheel back on and move up to the front where it gets a little bit more difficult. Alright guys, real quick, before we move up to the front of the car, if you guys are enjoying today's videos, if you guys want to see more content like this, be sure you guys are subscribed. If you guys are looking to keep up with the merch when the next drop is, very soon by the way, go down in the description below, follow getmoonstruck.jp on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and once again guys, make sure you guys are subscribed. Let's measure what size we're going to need for the front. Now in the front, you guys can see I already am running a 25mm spacer, what we're going to use on the back. So our measurements will be a little bit different, but the big difference up here is how big my front caliper is. This is the same caliper that is on a 300ZX, same size on a S14. This is a 280mm caliper. So not only do we have to worry about how thick it is, how far out our wheel has to be pushed, but how sharp these corners are. This makes it much bigger inside the face than we'd like. Alright guys, yes, I do understand I could 4 lug swap this car, I could get smaller front calipers and rotors, but for now I am just going to order adapters to make sure I like the whole little wheel life, and then in the future, if I choose to go this route forever, I can 4 lug swap this car, we can rebuild the Advance, and we can go from there. But just for now, just to see how I like this look, we are going to be running adapters. Alright guys, we're going to start off measuring the same things up front as we did in the rear. So starting out, this is a 1 inch spacer. How much farther out do we need to go to clear the face of this caliper? We need the wheel to be pushed towards the camera to make sure it doesn't scrub on this part of the caliper. So if I measure another inch out from our spacer, that puts us right here. That is where our wheel face would sit, leaving us plenty room over here away from the caliper face. Here's another look from above, showing us how much room we'll have away from the caliper. The next measurement we need to worry about is from this point, the center of the wheel, to this point up on the farthest part of our caliper. Now, putting that right through the middle, that puts us at about 6.5 inches. Well, some of you guys might be asking, Fitz, why does this measurement matter? Well, you take the 6.5 inches from here, you bring it all the way down, and we have 13 inches, almost 14 inches that we have to clear with the back of the face of our wheel. So in order to clear this top corner of our caliper, the back of our face has to be bigger than 13 inches in diameter. Now this can get a little tricky because the inside of our wheel, the closest part to the mounting point, the closest part that is going to be to the caliper, is exactly 13 inches. Now, what is gonna save us is the distance the wheel face will be pushed out from the face of the caliper. This distance right here. So with a 2-inch spacer, it will push it far enough out to where it will not hit that face, as well as not be in this 13-inch inner range. It will put the caliper in this 14.5, 15-inch range. Right here, you guys can see it lips down to get bigger. That right there is where our caliper will sit with a 2-inch adapter. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate math. So a big shout out, massive shout out to Cameron, the guy who I traded this wheels for, helped me measure all this stuff out. And at the very worst case for this setup, we could grind down the little itty bitty corner of our caliper. After that, if that didn't work, we could go to smaller brakes. And then if I wanted to go full little wheel style, we could swap to 4-lug hubs. So in the front, with these current wheels, these wheel specs, I'm gonna get a 2-inch 5x114 tube 4x100 adapter for the front. Like I said, that will leave us with plenty of clearance from the face, and I'm 99% sure that this will clear the top corner of our caliper. Now, the last little measurement we have to do is the measurement from the back of the face outward, so the back of the face out towards us, to see how much poke we're gonna have. The wheels are a square setup, so we are gonna get about 3.5, 4 inches of poke from that point. So in the front, this is how much poke we're gonna have. Roughly 1.5 inches or so. I can mess with the camber to either bring that in or bring that out if need be. Trust me, I understand the math can be boring, but I thought it was very important for you guys to know how I'm gonna be running these little wheels on my Skyline with stock brake. Don't have to change anything, just ordering the right size adapters. All that's left to do, guys, to get these wheels on the car is gonna be 1, ordering the adapters, and 2, possibly ordering some different size tires. I'll probably just end up test fitting these and then go down to a 175 if I figure out I want a little bit more stretch. And I'm sorry to all the S14, S13 guys out there. I don't want to trade your stock S-chassis parts for Project News pads and rotors and GTSD calipers. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I would lose too much money. I'm sorry. All right, guys, well, that is how I plan to run these 15-inch wheels on my Skyline with the stock brakes. Granted, everything looks good on paper. We do have to get the adapters in to see, just make sure all this math goes correctly. And I am honestly really excited to see these wheels on the car. Something different, something to switch it up. And that is gonna be it for the video. Be sure you guys are going to check out getmoonstruck.jp on Instagram. Make sure you guys subscribe here on the channel as well. See future updates on the Skyline and the little wheels. Anyways, guys, this has been Fitz Miller, the Skyline, the new little wheels, back here with another video, and we will see you guys in the next one.